I will now call to order the regularly scheduled meeting for the Lake Havasu Unified School District on February 12th, 2026. Secretary, roll call, please.
Michael Kern.
Here.
Evelyn Tinsley.
Here.
Lisa Ramon.
Here.
Matthew Houston.
Here.
David Rose.
Here. We'll now have a moment of silent prayer or private reflection. Amen. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good evening. Welcome to our meeting. I want to open up just with some housekeeping rules and then some announcements. This evening, we just ask that you remain cordial. If you're addressing the governing board in a call to the public, we definitely are open to freedom of speech. We just ask that you follow the protocol, and then please do not shout out in our meetings or be disruptive. If you are, then you will be asked to leave. Also, a couple of other things. The district has been informed that one of the NAEBT insurance rates was calculated incorrectly. The district still intends to cover the cost of this year's increase, but we will need to pull that agenda item this evening and have it presented with correct numbers in a future governing board meeting. So, also, a couple of other things. We understand there's a survey that has come out to parents, teachers, and staff in regards to early release days. The governing board will not be addressing that this evening. We will need to have meetings and discussions and work sessions in regards to that. We have not seen any of the results of the survey, nor has there been a predetermined decision that has been made by this governing board or any administrator. So anything said otherwise is just simply not true. And then finally, we understand Life Touch has been a very serious subject in our community today. Based on the information that was given to our superintendent and the governing board, the Lake Havasu Unified School District will be discontinuing our relationship with Life Touch, and we will be looking for a new vendor for school pictures. That's all the announcements I have at this time. We will now move on with the agenda. For item 2.1, Governing Board Monthly Awards, if the board will join me, please. All right, first this evening, we have our community member of the month. For the month of February is Steve Greeley. Steve is the owner of KNTR, as well as a huge champion and proponent of every bond and override that this district has done. He is a great partner to the Lake Havasu Unified School District. So Mr. Greeley, if you would please come at this time. All right, next is support staff of the month, Coach Carl Thompson. Mr. Thompson has been with Lake Havasu Unified School District for 27 years as a PE, with PE and as a coach, and has been as a PE coach, and has been the Lake Havasu High School head football coach for 17 of those years. Mr. Thompson has been the head coach for 3 sports teams in Lake Havasu High School: football 2009 to 2005, softball 2011, and girls basketball 1999 to 2006. Mr. Thompson also was an assistant coach for football from 1999 to 2008, boys basketball 2006 to 2008, basketball 1999 to 2001, and 2020 to 2026. Thunderbolt Middle School girls basketball from 2014 to 2016, and boys basketball 2018 to 2020 and 2021 to 2022. He has been an instrumental part of the Lake Havasu Unified School District Athletic Department, and we are grateful for all that he has done, his dedication to this district, our students, teachers, and staff. Mr. Thompson. Next up is our Teacher of the Month, Nicole Brown from Oro Grande Elementary School. Ms. Brown has been with the Lake Havasu Unified School District for 20 years, dedicated to Oro Grande Elementary School. Ms. Brown was a third grade teacher for 18 years and then transitioned as a fifth grade teacher where she teaches math and science. Quoted, "I love math." She is data-driven when it comes to planning, instruction, mimic, and AASA testing. Her unwavering dedication to the students has included facilitating the Gifted Enrichment Program once a week, 301 Site Rep, PACE Club, mentoring her teammates, a pilot teacher for Big Ideas last year, and sat on the panel to approve Big Ideas for the 2026-2027 school year. Ms. Brown was a Teacher of the Year in 2020 and 2021 and recipient of the Golden Apple in 2023. Principal Barton stated that Ms. Brown goes above and beyond for our scholars, supporting them both academically and through extracurricular opportunities, consistently pushing her scholars to the next level in math by helping them set personal academic goals and by seeing additional intervention to support their growth. We are grateful for Mrs. Brown. And then this evening, our February Administrator of the Month is Principal Jamie Hammer. Principal of Havasu Pie Elementary School, Ms. Hammer is a proud wife and mom of 2 Lake Havasu High School graduates. She started working here in 2007 and has been with the Lake Havasu Unified School District for 19 years. Ms. Hammer has accomplished so many things with LHUSD, including being a national board certified teacher, a third grade teacher at Jamaica Elementary School, a student success dean at Starline Elementary, and most recently, the principal of Havasu Pie. Her commitment to high quality instruction, continued growth, continued dedication, and continued work transformation at Havasu Pie Elementary School by putting all students first every day, every time. Her dedication is undeniable. We are grateful to have Ms. Hammer as part of our Lake Havasu Unified School District administrative team.
Switch it like a light. Pose on.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Congrats.
All right, this time, item 2.2, Lake Havasu City Education Association President Carol Nowakowski. Welcome.
Good evening, President Rose, members of the board, Superintendent Stone, directors, staff, students, and community. The 2026 Arizona legislative session has begun, and there's a lot of activity going on at the Capitol. The House Education Committee meets on Tuesday, which is one of the committees Representative Biasucci sits on as a member. The Senate Education Committee meets on Wednesday, where our Representative Angus sits as chair. I am still going through the list of bills that are being reviewed by committees. They range from school gardens, free school meals, to discipline and school safety. As these pass through committee, I will keep you alerted on the ones that will affect our district. Regarding tonight's board agenda, I first want to thank you for working with us on the discussion item 5.1 with the possibility of adding procedures 4.302 point C, point F, and point G. These will have a positive impact on all of our staff. And second, as you noted, we are moving it to the next board meeting, but the agenda item 6.4, when this agenda item was posted, staff had heavy concerns on how the increase in the annual benefit premiums would impact them. We were all pleased to read LHUSD will continue to cover 100% of the employee premiums for the EPO and HSP plans and subsidized dependent premiums, so all employees will continue to pay the same rate as they do in the current year. There are many who have remained in our district because of this. Around 9 to 10 years ago, we had a possibility of this disappearing as well. And it was a room full. And some people here know that would have felt that impact heavily, and we would have lost a lot of staff. So we appreciate the decision then and the continued commitment to our LHUSD staff. Any questions? Thank you.
Right, thank you. All right, next we will have item 3.1, call to the public. Secretary.
Our first one is going to be Keila Ellis.
Kayla Ellis. She outside?
Bueller.
Okay.
So number 2 would be Corey Potter.
Corey Potter. Porter, I'm so sorry. Hey, good evening.
That's all right. All right, well, my name is Corey Porter. I'm just here to talk about the Daytona property. I know you guys are looking at GCU, or at least according to the paper. And I do believe I had heard that previously. But I do want to ask, and I know you can't answer any questions tonight, but one, was Mojave College considered in that they have over 60 associate programs, and they just are now offering for undergrad degrees as well, which I believe they're going to continue to try and build that program up as well. I do have, I had a student that went to ASU here. The programs that they offered were not many. After the first year, she wound up having to go online or move to Tempe. Second, I currently have a daughter that's at GCU right now, and she's taking 4 classes this semester, and she has 2 of them online. So my concern would be, if we do bring a big university here, how much of the students are we really keeping here? Is it going to be strictly online, as it has been for ASU? Well, not strictly online, but several degrees online. And so I just want to bring that into consideration too. Mojave College has been around for a long time, and they are growing. I think that should be something that we're looking at as well. So thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you so much.
Patricia Solomon.
Good evening. You have 3 minutes.
I talk fast. So I wanted to bring up a few topics. I know you're not really going to have the full discussions tonight, but for example, the school lunches and federal laws, I want to kind of see what your guys' opinion is on this. What's the point of a survey if you're under federal law to follow in regards to salt, sugars, and things like that? One thing I would like you guys to consider is kindergarteners are getting the same portions as 6th graders, and I don't think that's really suffice. 6th graders are bigger, they take more calories, and they do depend on those meals just like your kindergarteners do. So, but I also understand the lunch doesn't have time to be like, oh, this is only kindergartens and this is 6th graders over here. But understand that they're hungry. So portions was my concern there more than it was what you're feeding the children. Early release, I want to touch on that a little bit. I did take the survey. I did vote for Fridays. I know that a lot of us are concerned about children being absent entirely for traveling purposes. I get it. I do. I'm a traveling parent. Leave tomorrow right after school for Phoenix for baton competition. Totally get it. But it makes it easier because I could leave at 1. I could pack my car while they're at school, and I can pick them up and hit the road at 1 versus now I have to wait till 2:30, 3 o'clock to hit the road. I'm getting into Phoenix around 5, 6, 7, 8. Depending on what time I roll out. Life Touch was a new topic you guys mentioned. I suggest maybe looking into some of our local photographers. We have a lot of them here in town. We've got Little Ivories, we have Whitney Podboy, we've got really good local photographers. Maybe you can make a contract with 3 of them, 4 of them, and be like, hey, you know, this school, these 2 schools are yours this year. These 2 schools are yours. Let's bring up the people that are local if we can. Maybe see if they're even interested in a contract, but maybe bring up our local businesses and work with a few of them to make that happen, and maybe an extra on the side that's a fill-in in case one couldn't do it. But that was my talking points, not too much tonight. And welcome your new baby. I'm so excited for you, and thanks for being back already. It's been hard for me to get back, so I get it, and congratulations to everybody who won tonight. You all, when you earned your position. Ms. Hammer, I love you to pieces.
Thank you. All right. We will now move to item 4.1, our consent agenda. I need a motion and a second, please.
Move to approve item 4.1 consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right, so secretary will do call, please.
Michael Kern?
Yes.
Evelyn Henson? Yes. Lisa Lamont?
Yes.
Kathy Hilton?
Yes.
David Rose?
Yes. Item 5.1, human resources, first reading of new policy and procedures. Good evening.
Okay. Good evening, President Rose, members of the board, Dr. Stone, staff and community. This is the first reading of 3 procedures regarding leave benefits that, if adopted during the second reading, will go into effect for the 26-27 school year. Procedure 4-302G, paid parental leave. This is a new procedure which allows for 6 weeks of paid parental leave for a qualifying event. Qualifying events include birth, stillbirth, miscarriage of employee's child, be a spouse or committed partner of an employee who has given birth to a child, have adopted a child, been placed with a foster child with the goal of adoption, or have guardianship placement of a child up to the age of 17. The adoption of a new spouse's child is excluded from this policy. And then also there's surrogacy. The 6 weeks of paid leave must run concurrently with any family medical leave taken. Then there's procedure 4-302C, personal leave. This procedure is being updated to include 3 additional days of personal leave for all employees. If personal days are not used, they convert to sick days for the following school year. Procedure 4-302F, bereavement leave. This procedure is being updated to include 5 paid days of bereavement leave for all employees per year for an in-state death of immediate family. Employees are also eligible to use earned paid sick time, personal leave, or vacation leave for up to 5 additional days of bereavement per year for out-of-state death of an immediate family member.
Okay. All right, at this time, I will open it up for questions from our governing board and discussion.
For the maternity leave, is there any current maternal leave?
So right now you get up to 12 weeks and you have to use your sick personal vacation time. So you'll get the first 6 weeks paid and then you can use your 6 additional weeks.
Okay. So and this would just be a dedicated direct parental leave for birth?
Correct.
My only question was on the bereavement leave, why it's parsed out between in-state and out-of-state.
So right now, I just think because if you're traveling out of state, you might need a little bit longer time. Mm-hmm. And that's how it reads right now is you're allowed 5 days of leave for in-state and 10 for out.
Okay.
I don't know when that came around, but that's what it currently is. But at least we would give you 5 days paid to not have to use out of your sick time.
And could you share with the governing board the financial impact?
I cannot
I
at this point.
I believe that was in our report, correct, Dr. Stone? I believe the cost of this was given in our report.
So the cost for the paid paternal leave right now, parental leave, if we were to do that, was right about $48,000 for this school year.
Okay.
The rest of the leave is what we have in our benefit package, so we didn't calculate an additional cost for that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Or is there any more comments or questions from the governing board? All right. Thank you so much. At this time, I actually would like to make a motion to waive second reading. Can we not do that?
It's not an action
Oh, it's
item.
not action item. Never mind. That's right. And we can't move it. Sorry. All right. Never mind. I meant to ask. Yeah. Actually, I think we can. Actually, I would like to, at this time, open up for call to the public for employees. If there's anything, any questions that you would have in regarding this or comments? Teachers, staff, anybody? Okay. Yeah, sorry, we took the mic.
Christina Musselman, Starline. I just wanted to say thank you for approving this because we have had 2 teachers in the last year that took off unexpected time for their babies longer than they expected, and they got no pay. And so they are still working from home, doing the best that they can, but they were not paid because of how long they've been in the district. And I remember as a new teacher myself, I saving every single day coming to school sounding like this because we wanted to save days to have babies. So we just appreciate this because I know our younger teachers, this is going to help us retain them and not lose them. So thank you.
Thank you. Sure, absolutely. Oh, we have a teacher. Staff, come ahead. So sorry.
Hi, my name is Michaela Young. I'm one of those teachers that Christina was talking about. I just had a baby in June, and I ended up taking off the first quarter, and I had to use all of my 6 days. So every time that my baby gets sick or I get sick, I don't have any time. So I get to leave without pay. So having this be approved would be significant and so helpful, especially considering like I want to grow my family. So next baby, hopefully that will be a thing. So thank you guys so much for considering it. I really appreciate it.
Hi, board. I'm Sarah Shaw. I would say just hearing that is a relief. I sometimes come to school thinking, do I save the day? How many days do I have? And thinking of the future, this is really relieving. Thank you.
I had the pleasure of having a NICU baby. My husband and I both worked in the district. He had to stay and work while I stayed in the hospital by myself in Phoenix. I love that this includes parental leave for both parties so that I wouldn't have had to be isolated from my family.
And as much as I appreciate the parental leave, I also appreciate the bereavement. Ever since we put it back, we changed it several years ago. And it was hard for me to encourage people to take bereavement and because they had to choose sick. And so I want you to be able to go and grieve and not have to come back. So I really do appreciate that you have reversed this policy to back to where it was, because we've had staff members this year that had to choose to work or go and grieve. So thank you.
It's, because we live in the tri-state area, it seems like we might just want to give a flat time, like 7 or 8 days because if somebody who has a family over here gets 5, but if they live in Needles, they're getting an additional time. Whereas if we just gave a flat, a base time frame, kind of for everybody in that range, 7, 8 days for everyone, I think that would probably be an easier. So, they live here versus they live here. It might just be a more straightforward approach to that. So, in the second reading, if we can consider.
Okay. Well, and looking over at the policy, do you mind if I?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So I know I asked of our human resources person the difference between 5 for in-state versus 5 for out-of-state, but reading it a little bit more carefully, I realize it just means like the standard is 5 for in-state, but if you are out-of-state, you can extend that. Yeah, I was reading it incorrectly, but so basically what I'm saying is the tri-state area part that you're talking about, they can extend it to like the 7 or 8 days, just using, if I'm reading this correctly.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm saying is because then the person who lives in-state has no I guess unless they used or vacation leave for up to 5 additional work days, where if we just gave kind of a flat rate for in or out of state instead of applying more, but we can discuss further in the second reading.
I was just going to say thank you for letting me speak for Marcy. Her question was, as one of our wonderful bus drivers that helps get these kids to and from school, does this dwindle to them as well, or is this strictly a policy that's changing for the teachers alone?
No, this will be for all staff.
Oh, that is awesome. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, is there any further discussion or questions from the governing board?
Just, we can discuss further offline, just how the FMLA procedure would work. Just flushing out those details. We can talk offline on it just before the next reading.
And I just want to say that I'm thankful for this governing board working together to make this happen. We are a school district that talks about we support families, but so often it is the families that work for this district that are overlooked. And this is a board that doesn't just want to support the families that their students attend our district, but we also want to support the families that work for the district. And so we're very excited to be able to bring this to our second reading and implement this in our district. Yes, Ms. Williams.
Just a question. Where it says immediate family, a couple of years ago, I lost my father, my stepmother, my 15-year-old nephew, and my sister, all within a 4-year time period. When you say immediate family, what is that going to include? We might want to specify what that is.
The recommendation.
Aaron, can you address that? Yeah. If you would come to the mic, please.
Okay. Immediate family is defined as spouse or domestic partner, children, parents, legal guardians, siblings, grandparents, grandchildren, aunt or uncle, parents of spouse or your domestic partner, brother or sister of your spouse or domestic partner, sons-in-law or daughters-in-law, any individual permanently residing in the employee's household.
That's pretty inclusive.
That covers almost the whole family.
Basically just like that.
Yeah. Just all right. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
And then the only thing I wanted to say was, you already, acknowledged the work of the governing board, but also there took a lot of behind the scenes work from particularly our education association, working with directors and our superintendent, and a lot of behind the scenes. A lot of times it's easy as a board member to not consider how policies impact your actual daily lives. And so I do appreciate the advocacy coming from our staff, making sure that they draw our attention to things that we can do even better. So I appreciate that.
Any other comments or questions? All right. Item 6.1, Assistant Superintendent Recommendation. I know my paperwork. So before I read this, as some of you are sitting here wondering, well, who is that going to be? One of the things that we spoke about a few months ago in a board meeting is I talked to you about Grow Our Own. This district has a lot of great leaders that have an opportunity through the years to advance to greater opportunities of leadership. And we want to be able to develop those leaders here in the district. And tonight we are able to begin that process. So tonight it is my pleasure to present the recommendation of Mr. Scott Becker for the Assistant Superintendent. Mr. Becker has dedicated the past 24 years to the Lake Havasu Unified School District, serving as a physical education teacher, assistant principal, and principal of the Lake Havasu High School since 2014. As principal, Mr. Becker has led Lake Havasu High School's instructional and administrative programs, overseeing curriculum, instruction, personal management, student services, finance, business operations, and community relations. Under his leadership, the high school has earned an A school letter grade from the Arizona Department of Education for the last 3 consecutive years and successfully renewed its accreditation. Throughout his tenure, Mr. Becker has demonstrated consistent leadership, loyalty to this district, and a strong commitment to student-centered decision-making. His extensive experience across classrooms, athletic, and administrative roles provides him with a comprehensive understanding of district operations and school leadership. Mr. Becker holds a Bachelor of Science from the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse and a master's degree in education administration from Grand Canyon University. His depth of experience, proven record of academic success, and long-standing commitment to the Lake Havasu Unified School District position him well to serve in the role of Assistant Superintendent. At this time, I will open it up for discussion and questions to the governing board.
This is a wonderful recommendation. Mr. Becker, it has been a pleasure getting to know you and work with you. Everything that you have provided to this new board here, you are a consummate professional, and I look forward to working with you as the Assistant Superintendent. You're going to do a fantastic job.
Any other comments, questions? I will say this, that I've had a great opportunity to build a relationship with Mr. Becker. He has become a sounding board for advice as I work through decisions, and his wealth of knowledge and history of the district. And I'm looking forward to him working with the governing board in this new role. So at this time, I call, if there's no other questions, I ask for a motion and a second to make Mr. Scott Becker the Assistant Superintendent of the Lake Havasu Unified School District.
I move to approve 6.1.
I second.
Secretary.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations, Mr. Becker. Now, for those of you wondering what is going to happen with the high school, so Mr. Becker will be completing his year as principal of Lake Havasu High School. That position will actually be posted by HR tomorrow as we begin the search for a new principal. And I can tell you, Mr. Becker is going to be heavily involved in that process. And we are very thankful for that. So. All right, at this time, item 6.2, maintenance, approval of a contract award for Thunderbolt Middle School cooling towers. Good evening.
I gotta be the first for this. Good evening, Dr. Stone, Assistant Superintendent Mr. Becker, awesome governing board and community. I'm here to present the motion to approve the rebuilding of the cooling towers at Thunderbolt Middle School. So as promised to the voters in November 2016 bond pamphlet, the governing board will consider the approval of the proposal from Pueblo Mechanical and Controls for Thunderbolt Middle School to rebuild 2 towers. The project is in the amount of $224,938. The cooling towers at Thunderbolt Middle School require comprehensive mechanical refurbishment to ensure operational efficiency and climate control for the facility. Following a professional assessment, a scope of work has been developed to address the corrosion, mechanical wear, and component failure. So basically, we got to do a full removal of all the scale filled. Well, we got to remove all the scaled fill. So fill is like what the water goes down, and comprehensive power washing of the tower and the basins. Application of a premium epoxy coating to address the corrosion and the failing surfaces. Installation of new fans, new shafts, new bearings, new bushings, mechanical floats and valves. Replacement of internal components with OEM Baltimore air coil replacement fill kits and new stainless steel internal walkways, and that comes with a 2-year warranty. The project is estimated to take about 16 days and will be conducted during normal business hours. It will not impact the staff and students. The project is being procured under the 1GPA, contract 2214PV-05, utilization of the cooperative purchasing contract insurance compliance with Arizona procurement statute while providing the district with competitive pre-negotiated pricing. Total project $224,938. It also includes a 1.5% performance bonding. Funding source will be bond or allowable capital funds. Proposal pricing is valid for 90 days of the day it was issued. It is recommended that the governing board approve this proposal from Pueblo Mechanical Controls for the rebuilding of the 2 cooling towers for Thunderbolt Middle School to prevent any equipment failure and extend the life of the HVAC infrastructure. Reference documents, Lake Havasu Unified District, I think it might be up there. I don't know if you guys are actually going to open up the proposal. Yes. You can, totally. But that is what's in there. The project will be funded under using bond and allowable capital funds. No, just if they want to see anything, that's the proposal. I'm not going to read all that stuff.
I do have
if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, the excluded the following is the total price including the estimations on what those might be?
Yeah, that is the total. It won't be a dime over that, or I would ask for a little bit of contingency.
Okay, because, as we're getting into this job, I see one, not held liable for existing code deficiency. So if we're required to bring things up to code.
We'll do that in-house.
Okay, it'll be handled in-house. And so that exclude has been calculated into that total price?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, is there any other questions for Thomas or comments? I just want to commend Thomas on him and his team have been working diligently to keep the middle school cooled, because if you could see the systems, it is a nightmare. And so I just want to commend you for your work
Thank you.
and your success in that. And this is something that's definitely needed. He took me on a tour of these systems, and they definitely need this. So is there other questions or comments from the governing board? All right, at this time, I call. Yes, go ahead.
I was going back and forth just asking questions to Dr. Stone a little bit to understand on the price and such for we're not covering that. That's actually, what is it? It's considered a bond, or what is it?
That is definitely us covering it. That's within here. Yeah, so the school facilities division, 100% out of money right now. They should be getting some more funding, and there's been a lot of talk about a $1.5 billion over 3 years. It has not been approved. I have about $50 million in the queue with roofing, weatherization, and they are not funding anything. So right now, that is definitely coming out of our funds.
That's coming out of our funds. Okay.
Correct.
So why then why do we use someone that's not like in town? Are we allowed to, or like, is it?
You can totally try to find somebody in this town that can rebuild those cooling towers. You have to get 3 competitive bids. You have to use a procurement company like Sunny Path, and they have to put it in the paper. This is all pre-negotiated. This is through the 1 GPA, which is government procurement.
And Evelyn, just
So
look.
they're chosen people.
No, they apply for it.
So
I mean, they're already approved.
Correct.
They're the chosen.
Correct. They pre-negotiate the pricing through a government procurement. So they're basically part of a, I don't know what you would call it, cooperative.
Yeah.
So there's Mojave, 1 GPA, there's a lot of different ones that we use.
Because you would think for like some of that price, you could actually like get new ones, not just rebuild things. So like.
New ones would be
Substantially
probably about $5 million.
And honestly, this isn't a bad price. If you just think of the cost of labor nowadays for what they are doing, 2 separate towers, multiple days of labor, 16 days of labor. I mean,
and there are
For
hotels.
some of the prices, and some of those.
Just think about a
prices
remodel on
definitely
a house.
exceeded the-
So we actually have a 36-year-old chiller there. So we have 2 chillers, and there's no redundancy. It needs both of the chillers for capacity during the summer. We have a BRG in for a 36-year-old chiller right now. We're waiting for the state to fund that. That'll be $500,000. So hopefully they fund that. But right now there is no money. They're funding little things like stage curtains for the high school. That just got funded, so that's going in.
That's probably what I was thinking then for
Yes.
clarification.
Yeah, but we have a lot of projects that need to be
and
funded.
with this being for the cooling of a school, especially
No, it's a big deal.
like have to like.
Yeah.
And honestly, that price is not for the amount of labor, parts, services that are going in.
Good.
I mean,
Yeah,
just a small remodel, you're hitting.
Yeah, and if anyone ever wants to walk that school in the central plant, you'll see it's an industrial cooling system. It's not a package unit on your roof. It's not a split system. It's water-cooled chillers.
And the money is coming out of bond funds, so this
Correct.
was something that the voter
Was promised in
approved back down
2016, correct.
2016 to give us money for exactly these types of purchases.
So during COVID, we got ESSER money, ESSER 1, 2, and 3. We used ESSER 3 for all ventilation. We did 150 package units throughout the district. We've done a lot for the entire district for cooling.
Yeah. All right, is there any further questions? All right, at this time, Thomas, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, I call for a motion and a second on item 6.2.
I move to approve item 6.2.
A second.
Secretary, if you'll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, at this time, item 6.3, Human Resources, the 26-27 Administrative Staff Compensation. Good evening, Erin.
Hello again. So as you were talking earlier about growing our own, LHUSD works to build leadership capacity within our district. Deans, assistant principals, and directors serve as a vital function with the district as they work to support all our staff, students, and families. Staff who have been with the district for 10 or more years often do not apply for these positions because it would they would have a pay cut. Okay. The governing board will consider the following changes to the current salary schedule for administrative positions. Okay. This is just a quick look at our 25-26 salary schedule for those administrative positions currently. Tonight, we're proposing adjustments to make leadership a realistic and viable option for our staff. Currently, a teacher in our district with 10 years of experience makes $59,250 as a base salary. Another one with 20 plus years makes $67,500 as their base. And a teacher with 30 plus years has a base salary of $74,000.
Just looking at, so that's the teacher 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Just on the fence, it seems that a teacher 2 with 20 years makes more than a teacher 3.
So the teachers are receiving 301. These are just a couple examples we pulled off of our staffing grids. Stipends, 301 performance pay, all kind of wrap into that. And so what happens, in some cases, this results in experienced teachers earning more than our current starting base salary of an assistant principal, which is $80,750. Elementary school principal starts at $85,250, and our middle school principal starts at $88,250. So they're already making more than our base. So we don't want this to continue. So we're proposing the following new administrative starting salary for the next school year. The total cost for next school year to move everyone to this new starting schedule will be $43,000. This proposal gets us to a place where experienced teachers can reasonably consider administration as a path and hopefully help us keep leaders in our district a little longer.
All right, thank you, Erin. Is there any questions or discussion from the governing board on this agenda item?
Go ahead.
I just want to say that this does correct an existing problem that we have. We have a lot of experienced teachers who stay in the classroom multiple decades. And if that's what they really want to do, then that's actually wonderful. But what we don't want is people staying in the classroom because it would cost them to transition to an administrative role. As we've said before, especially with just approving with our assistant superintendent, one of our goals is to have homegrown leadership. And a policy like this, raising the base salaries for our admin, helps support that homegrown talent.
And it incentivizes leaders from moving from classrooms to leadership positions where they get to share that experience with new teachers. And so the quality of our schools should grow as we have leaders stepping up into these roles. And instead of bringing somebody new in all the time and cycling through these, people who know the culture, people who know them are promoted and are able to improve the district. So I think this is great. Thank you for bringing it to us.
Thank you.
And then I would just like to say, we have a lot of teachers that are interested in progressing into administration. And so this will allow that to happen as opportunities in our district open. And so I'm very thankful of you working on this for the governing board so that we can fix this issue. A lot of times, administrative pay is way too high in some of our districts, and I can tell you that is not the problem here. It is way under. And given the reason that some of you who would love to be a principal are still serving in our classrooms, and we're thankful that you stayed and you did not move to another district that would have given you a better opportunity. So thank you for staying and allowing this governing board to fix this issue so that you can be promoted into the position that you want to be in and serve in other leadership roles. So Erin, thank you for presenting this. Is there any other comments or questions before I call for a vote?
I just want to kind of re-say what I said a little bit more clearly. Like, if you are a long-time teacher and you are in your classroom because you love being there, we want you to stay there. Like, I don't want to get angry emails from people saying you took away our best teachers. So if you love being there, please stay there. But if you're there because you feel like you're stuck there, that's a different story. We want to give you the opportunity for growth if that's what you're looking for.
Okay. And I think this builds on to what this governing board has done for administrators. We have offered, even for our principals, me and Mr. Becker were just having this conversation the other day, the 3-year contract that we now give principals, it gives them the opportunity to feel comfortable that they can build vision for their school, and they know that they have a district that is thankful they're here. and support growth and work together collaboratively as a team. So this is just an extension of that, and I'm very thankful for that. So, all right. If there's no further discussion or questions, I'll call for a motion and a second on item 6.3.
I move to approve item 6.3.
I'll second.
All right, Secretary, if you will call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, item 6.4, Human Resources, Employee Benefits.
That one was pulled.
Oh, never mind, that's right, sorry. All right, it's been a long night. All right, at this time, item 7.1. Good evening, Dr. Stone.
Good evening. Thank you to the board. I just first want to congratulate Mr. Becker. I am so excited to have him take on this role. I think that will be an amazing thing for the district. And I do want to echo kind of the things that you all talked about tonight and just thank the board for your focus on those things that matter for our staff to make their lives better in terms of the benefits that you've looked at tonight. You looked at staff salaries before in your last year. This is a way to build on that. And the admin staff compensation, I will echo what all of you said. There are amazing leaders that are in our schools, and now they have the opportunity to consider stepping up when we have those vacancies, and that will be a game changer. Often when we sit in our principal interviews, and even assistant principal interviews, sometimes we're looking at only outside people. When we know we have staff that would do an amazing job. So I hope this is a move in the right direction for them to really consider as those jobs do become available. So thank you very much.
All right. At this time, item 7.2, Governing Board members. I've got a few announcements. First, I'm going to ask Chef Chris if you would come up here. As you can see, we all look like we're at school right now. And I just want to commend you for your hard work. As many of you know, we were one of the first school districts in the nation to ban harsh chemicals and food dyes in school lunches. And our team with Tarhar has done an amazing job of making that happen. And right now we have Doritos that have no food dyes or artificial flavors in them that are now being sold in our schools for our students. And then we have pure fruit punch with no added sugar. And so not only have they accomplished this, but they are being contacted by other school districts saying, how did you do this so quickly? And he was able, Chef Chris and Ms. Ann Taft were able to work directly with Representative Biasucci to help set the standard for the entire state of Arizona. And I'm very thankful that our district got to be involved in that. So thank you so much for your hard work. We appreciate you very much. All right. A few other things I want to bring up because our football team, some of our players are here dying for an announcement that we have for them this evening. But first, couple of business items. In a previous board meeting, this governing board had some questions brought to us in regards to our relationship and contracts with Concord. And so I'd asked Dr. Stone to look into that. And I want you to know that she was able to meet with Concord. They have answered all of our questions. They have been a great partner with the Lake Havasu Unified School District for several years and have done amazing work. And they were able to provide everything that we needed to answer those questions. We were able to provide that information back to the community members that had concerns, and we will be continuing that relationship with Concord, and we look forward to many more projects with them. So I just wanted to address that and update the community. The next thing I want to bring up is a bond and override. Since Mr. Greeley is here this evening, Mr. Greeley has agreed to chair the Bond and Override Committee for the 2027 election cycle. And we will be working together to go out for a bond and override in next year's election. It will be the only thing on the ballot. And we had a great meeting, Mr. Greeley and myself, and talked about unity. And we want to see that in this community. We need to be unified together. Despite our political ideology differences, we can work together to do what is best for kids in the future of Lake Havasu Unified School District. And this governing board is going to partner with people that want to do that. And so, Mr. Greeley, thank you for being willing to chair another committee. And we are looking forward to working with everyone to hopefully get a bond and override next year. So, and then without further ado, we're excited to introduce and announce the Lake Havasu High School's new football coach, Tanner Kelly. Mr. Kelly has been a valued member of our district since 2011, serving as a social studies teacher at the high school. A former collegiate quarterback and Hall of Fame inductee, he brings 9 years of football coaching experience at the high school and college levels, including roles as a quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, and special teams coordinator. His leadership, instructional background, and commitment to student development makes him exceptionally well suited to lead our football program. Mr. Kelly is not here this evening because he is coaching, but we will have him in our next board meeting to give an official introduction. And I want to thank the committee that worked very hard to interview. We had several candidates, and I would just like, Mr. Becker didn't know I was going to do this, but if you would just come and share with the board and the community your experience. We did have another, there was several candidates, and some of the feedback you heard from some of those candidates. Mr. Assistant Superintendent.
Yes. With the correct height microphone. President Rose, thank you. Hiring a new football coach is a large task. Yes, I would love to think that I'm the face of the high school, but the face of the high school is not the principal. And I'm smart enough to understand that. Football season kicks off how successful that your school year is going to go at a high school level. And that position is extremely important. That guy back there, 17 years, 2014 I was the principal, made my job really easy because he was extremely successful. So it is a very important process. We took a process that lasted 4 weeks. It was the 5 days the job was posted. That's the minimum we can do. There were many applicants. Then we took a week to go through paper screenings. And then we narrowed that down to who are we going to interview. We interviewed quite a few applicants all over the United States, not just locally. And that was a change from what we're used to in the past. I can tell you 2 of them were disappointed. Another individual, when we were talking to him, also kind of pulled his name from it. But I considered that as a victory, even when he pulled his name from being able to be offered a position, because his statement was it wasn't the pay that kept him away from coming to Lake Havasu Unified School District. So I felt like, as the principal, that we arrived in the arena where we're at a point where we have competitive pay for teachers to attract them to our community. And not only that, we had plenty of viable candidates to apply for the position. So did that answer all of it?
All right. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Becker.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Is there any further discussion or comments from the governing board?
So I was able to take part in a couple of student activities over the last week. One was this morning. I went to Starline and was able to be a part of their student science fair. I was really impressed with the projects, and I also thought it was very apparent that the projects were student-led. Like when they were talking about it, they knew what they had done. It wasn't overly, I'm not saying that their parents didn't help them put some polish on it, but it was very much, it didn't look like it was something that an adult had done for them or something where they were just reading something that an adult had written for them. So I really appreciated that. And then the other event took place at the high school. I was invited by a student. She's part of the future, I'm probably not going to get the exact name right, but it's within the CTE program. It's part of the Future Business Leaders. And she put on an event that highlighted early education or early childhood development, the skills that are necessary, and the ways that we can partner between schools and businesses and help develop some of those activities for younger kids. Again, this was all student-led. We often we approve these programs or we approve travel for the different conferences that students go to, but then being able to actually see the projects that the students put on and the work that they do is really eye-opening because it is adult level work that they are doing in high school.
Anyone else? And I just want to brag on the governing board and our administrative team, not just here at the DO, but in all of our schools. There's great things happening. So I was at the state capitol this week, and there were some other school board presidents there. And some of our districts in the state are making really tough decisions right now. They're laying off teachers. They are closing schools. While at Lake Havasu High School, we're working on things like giving teachers benefits and looking how to give smaller classroom sizes and just building vision. And that takes an entire team to make that happen, and community support. And while I was there, I even had a conversation with someone from the Arizona Education Association who said, wow, your district really is doing great things. And so we're very thankful for that we get to lead as an example of what the entire state could look like when we come together and work in unity and put kids first. And so I just want to thank every principal, every administrator, every teacher in the classroom for putting kids first and helping achieve the goal. And we are going to keep building this district and doing amazing things. All right, that's all I have. Is there anything else? All right, then I call for a motion to adjourn on item 8.1 in a second.
Move to adjourn.
I second.
Secretary, if you'll call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Have a great evening.
See ya. Have fun at Utah.
Went back to work too.